When you see MAGA in the comments coming back with the same comebacks they've said over and over and over, no matter what changes in front of them, I want you to look at it like this. When you're a kid, what your parents say is basically like God saying it, right? Like my dad said, Santa's true. Santa's real. And so you go out in the world believing that. And then when you bump up against a kid that goes, yeah, right, Santa's not real, you freaking weirdo, you're too old to believe that. It is very shocking to the system because my dad wouldn't lie to me. And then he may bring it up to the dad, and if the dad still wants him to believe that, he's like, well, of course he's real. Why would I lie to you about that? Don't you believe me? What's wrong with you? So then that kid will go back out, and he is going to fight to the death to say that Santa's real because he believes in his dad, and he's not going to be disloyal to his dad. Plus, he gets the bonus of believing in Santa. So he will attack that kid. He will make fun of him and say, you don't know what you're talking about. Your dad's stupid. That kind of thing. And then it's the same way as they get older. Like, because in a cult setting, so when you're raised in a cult, you're not just in a cult, you're also in a family cult. And then you go into a marriage cult. It's just a generational cult thing. And almost no one gets out of that. If you were born in a cult, your brain is developed as a cult brain. So your family operates that way, and then you go into a marriage that is the same way, where you don't have a voice. And so so let's say Trump is the dad, so Trump's the cult, and these are his children. They are going to believe what he says, no matter what we say, because my dad said. It's very young like that, because they weren't ever allowed to individuate and have their own thoughts or their own opinions. And if they did, they were kept to themselves. But you feel guilty for not believing your parents. You feel guilty for going against them. You feel a deep wound or a pain if they ever look disappointed in you or anything. If you question anything they say, they look devastated and you just feel like you want to die. And if you try and challenge them, you remember the violence. You remember the threats. You remember all kinds of awful things, and that you could get kicked out of the family, so you keep it to yourself. And either you just keep moving along into cults, or maybe you meet someone, the cousin, an aunt, an uncle, someone that's very kind to you, that has treated you with respect, who isn't in the cult dynamic. And you trust them enough to share your feelings. And they're great with you. They don't go, well, your dad's an idiot. They say, well, what do you think about that? How does that make you feel? Do you have any other thoughts on that? What have you heard other people say? And it allows you to open up and not feel like you're being attacked for going against the father, because your brain belongs to the cult. There's no choices involved. Agency is gone. So you have to either meet someone in the outside world that is so patient and kind with you that can allow you to evolve through this process and not feel like you're going to die, because it does feel like a death. You feel threatened. I mean, there's no way to explain how terrifying it is. Like, it's top secret. You whisper this shit and you write it in notes. You meet somewhere else. And the other option is to have it so evident that the dad is lying that you have no choice. So let's say you wait up all night and Santa doesn't show up, and now there's no presents, and everybody you've ever met's like, dude, like everybody. And to where you have no choice but to deal with the reality that he's not real, or whatever the thing is the dad is saying. Like a dad saying, oh, we've got all this money and you'll all be okay. And then one day you look in the bank accounts and it's all gone. Those are the moments where, well, shit, dad was lying. Because then your self-survival will kick in and you will individuate, and it will be a very scary, quick one. And then you have to sort yourself out afterwards. But those are really the two ways, because people go, well, why do things have to impact them so much? It's like, because they don't have their own brain. And their brain belongs to the dad, and the loyalty and the love belongs to the dad. And anytime they're disloyal, it makes them feel sick and scared. That's what it's like being in a cult. You don't have to understand it, but that's the way it is. And it would really help if people would understand it, so they would know how to engage these people and understand why their comments are like, nuh-uh, Trump said. No, Trump's going to fix everything. No, see, Trump's helping us. Don't you see? That sounds just like my dad's helping You guys don't get it, but my dad's a good guy. Do you see? Do you see? And so if you attack kids about their dad, it's like, I can talk shit about my dad, but you can't talk shit about my dad. It's exactly like that. So talking shit about them to the cult members doesn't work. It just makes them scared, and it makes them cling more to the dad because they don't know what else to do. They don't have their own agency at this point.